Everyone, it's Dominique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to bind off while knitting. And the project that I just finished, and I just posted it on my blog, it's not the best. It's a pattern I found on Ravelry, which I'll post down below. It's called a starfish face cloth. So there's different ways you can do it. You can do it's in 6 wedges, so you can do 3 and 3, or alternate 2 colors like what I did, or do it all in one color, dye it, whatever you like. So I love this pattern so much. It's so easy and it's so fun. I highly recommend you try it. This one is made of cotton by Garn Studio, and it's called Paris. And I made it with size 4mm needles. So the good thing about cotton is that it's very absorbent, and it's good. It's soft enough on the skin, but it's rough enough that it will buff your skin a bit, but not too much. So I'm almost finished my first wedge. This is knit in one piece, with the exception of sewing it together at the end. So as you can see here, here's my wedge, and this is a different yarn altogether. It's by Katia, and this is a self-striping yarn. You might be able to see the different shades in there. It goes into a deeper purple, from blue to different shades of blue into purple, and it's not very stripy, as you can tell. It's a more flowing kind of color, so we'll see how this turns out, and of course I'll put a photo on my blog once I'm finished. So I've already started binding off. Now the point of binding off is to finish your piece, or to get rid of some stitches. So here is where I had to bind off. This is the edging that's in the pattern, but this is the binding off, so that way I could finish my piece and then start the next section. So you use binding off the end of a scarf, the end of a pant leg, anything that you need to finish. You will use this method, and this is for knitting. I'll do a separate video for purling when I have a project to do that for. So you have already knit one stitch. You're going to knit a second stitch, so you're only knitting 2 at a time, and you're going to take the first stitch you had knit on the right and carry that over, so that way you're down to 1 loop, so it's like a decrease. So I have first stitch from the right, and then I'm just going to carry it over and pull through the top stitch, or the first stitch I had there. So once again, because that was probably confusing, I apologize. You knit 2 stitches, you take the bottom stitch over the top. And this is what I hate about metal needles, is that they're very slippery. And there you go. So just follow your pattern. Sometimes it says cast off, bind off. Depends on where you're from, or what pattern language the person has used. Oh. So here I dropped a stitch, so I'm quickly just going to thread it back on and pinch the bottom of the first stitch I dropped and thread it back onto my needle. Okay, so let's try that again. So bottom stitch and carry it over the top one. And there you go. So that's how you do binding off for knitting. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.